All right, so I figured I better tell some people how to paint rusty metal, and a lot of people get this wrong. They haven't been doing this long enough. Maybe they learned a couple things from different people. So I want to get you started in the right direction, painting rusty metal. And let's just say you have something small like this. People will go, "Oh, well, I could just sand that down." Yeah, you could do that. You could just sand this down and actually, use a non-phosphoric acid-based primer, and it'd probably be okay. But let's just say, for instance, you have something metal that's rusty like this, or even flaky rusty, and you need to paint it, but it's really big. And you're not going to be able to just get out there with a sander and sand it all down and remove all the rust. So what you want to use is something called a rust reformer or rust converter. And what these products do is you just, all you need to do is clean it. So you can, something like this, you could just power wash it, clean it, and make sure that there's no flaky rust. So you may take a wire brush and just get all the flakes off where the just stuff just falls right off. And then what you do is you use a rust reformer or rust converter. They have some in gallons on eBay. If you look up that product, you're going to find something called Adcoat, which is in Florida, and they'll ship it out to you for $50 a gallon. It's really cheap for the kind of product it is. It actually works really well. And they have other ones in, at Home Depot. There's a couple others. There's a few different directions you can do this. Okay, one, you can use the rust reformer or rust converter. The other thing you can do is you can get the rusty metal primer from Home Depot, which comes in Rust-Oleum, and it comes in only red oxide color. So you have to look for the rusty metal primer, and all of these have the same ingredient in them, which is phosphoric acid. And what phosphoric acid does is it neutralizes the rust and actually converts the rust into a non-rusting metal. So, but chemically, it does that. And then what you do is after that dries, you can go right over that with your paint and paint it. Now, the problem with the stuff at Home Depot, the Rust-Oleum, is if you're putting a water-based paint over that, it might have difficulty adhering. So it's more for using oil-based paint over. If you're trying to go over water-based, the better product for that would be the Adcoat Rust Reformer. And people go, "What? You can put water-based on your metal and it'll stop rusting?" Yes, there's a way to do it. There's a couple different products to do that with. Let me show you what they are. And this is a water-based alkali paint. So how does those two things come in the same sentence? It's actually quite odd that it happens, but I don't know exactly how they do it chemically. But I'll tell you what this product does is this product goes on as a water-based paint, and when it dries, you cannot get it off with water anymore. You have to use paint thinner or lacquer thinner or something that takes off oil base. So this is one from Vista Paint. They have several different ones. Don Edwards has one, and so does some of the others. This is actually just a regular Protect, like an oil base, and they have a urethane that's basically done the same way. And the thing that's great about this paint is it still has the flexibility of water-based paint, but it has the rust inhibiting factor that's in oil-based paint. So it's kind of nice for a lot of different things. It doesn't yellow. It's fast. It does yellow, not as fast, and it doesn't chalk as fast as some of the other oil bases out. So in some ways it's better than oil base, but there's still times when you just want to use oil base. There's just times that oil base is the best product to use, and unfortunately in California they really don't have much for oil base except for Rust-Oleum. In fact, they don't even have brushes and rollers to use to put it on, so it's kind of difficult. So anyway, but this is the type of product you can use that will actually go over a rusted surface. Most of the paint companies have them, and it's usually something in the neighborhood of alkali emulsion or something to do with metal paint. It'll say usually, and it's water based. All right. So anyway, that's how you paint over rusty metal.